About last week or 2 weeks ago, I saw one of the most fascinating documentary series from a sports standpoint on Netflix. And that documentary series is called The Greatest Rivalry, India versus Pakistan. And this is a rivalry that basically is 3 episodes, the sports documentary series. And it takes back to the rivalry between both countries playing cricket. And it's an interesting sport because it's a mix of baseball. For some reason, to me, it's like a mix of baseball, soccer. When it comes to certain things, I don't follow cricket, but there was something about this documentary series that made me want to learn a little bit more about cricket. So that's something I got to keep in mind this week because I have so much things going on. But I got to keep that in mind for this week and just basically learn about the sport more often. I've heard about it, but I never really bothered to dig too much detail into it. But the second and third episodes are my favorites. I mean, all 3 episodes are great, but I feel the second, especially the third one, are great. The first episode is episode one, which basically you get interviews from legendary players who've played in this rivalry. And then the second episode is called The Battleground. So basically, for the first time in 15 years, the Indian cricket team, they go and travel to Pakistan to, to play the game, to battle. And then the third episode is called Making History. And that's where you see players from both countries, they make truce. And you also see some of the conflicts that is happening outside of the sport. Um, very tough situations, horrifying moments, politics and stuff like that. So the third episode is, in my opinion, is the most inspiring, painful, but also uplifting, I should say. But this is, like I said, this documentary series is totally new and different for me because I learned new things, something that I never knew before. And now I just have the hunger to learn more about the sport and some of these legends that have played in these sports, in the sport. But is it a great documentary? I don't think so. Is it a good documentary? Yes, I do believe that it's a good documentary. And like I said, it's only 3 episodes, guys. So if you love sports, if you love documentaries, this is for you. And it's on Netflix too. So, but I had no idea that these two countries were rivals when it came to this particular sport. So that was great. Um, I like the fact that you got to interview so many different people. Like you have Indian sports writers, journalists from both sides of the country. So, and I'm a person that I'm infatuated that I like seeing people get interviewed from these countries that about a sport that I have no recollection, that I'm not knowledgeable. So I like watching documentaries that the filmmaker, the producers, they go above and beyond and interview as many people as they can to rehash or relive the memories of that rivalry that happened during the late 90s, early to mid 2000s, etc. So, plus they got to interview some of the top athletes of that sport based on from what I've read and what I saw in the documentary. So that was cool. That was great. But yes, the greatest rivalry, India versus Pakistan, is a very fun documentary. It's a learning experience for me. My review, I mean, okay, I can't forget, I love some of the slow motion shots. The editing was fantastic. I love the editing in this docu-series. And I like the editing. Of course, I like the storytelling. And I just love the amount of footages that they got from all of those years. So I could tell that a lot of hard work was put into making this documentary. and it's 3 episodes, so 40 plus minutes. I recommend it. I definitely recommend it. So my review for the greatest rivalry, India versus Pakistan, 1 through 5, I give it a 4.2 out of 5 stars.